Good evening, Tiffin and Seneca County. My name is Brian Bilger with Bilger's Lawn and Landscape, and this is the fourth informational video that we've made for Seneca News Daily. And today we're actually on site at some of our good clients and friends, Rachel and Cody Myers, and we've had a lot of popular requests about how we do our design service, and we're lucky enough to have the opportunity to do the design and install at their last house, and now they moved into this beautiful new home, and we just wanted to kind of give some ideas and give the people from the Seneca News Daily an idea of how the design process works. And so typically we start out by asking our clients what their needs and wants are, and so we wanted to give the opportunity today to show you kind of some of the things that Rachel and Cody wanted, and then you'll be able to actually see what we kind of installed. So again, this is Rachel, and she could tell you kind of what she wanted in the landscape design.
So like he said, this is our second time doing this. I'm not one that likes color, so you'll see a lot of green. That's kind of my color of choice. I like hydrangeas, but I did not want a blue or purple hydrangea. So he had actually found a Bobo hydrangea for me that's white, kind of green, does get a little bit of pink in the fall at our last house, so I knew I wanted that here. He did talk me into the color of the Japanese maple, and I was happy with that at our last house. And then we do a little purple. So Brian does a good job of knowing where there should be some color, but again, keeping it how I wanted it with a lot of the green.
Yep. And kind of Rachel's being a little modest. In fact, she actually taught me what the Bobo was. This was, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, and I had never heard of it. And honestly, we use it all the time. It's a great plant, stays small, blooms for a really long time. The one thing in general about any of the landscapes this time of year, things are starting to kind of settle in. You're losing some of your blooms. Perennials are dying back, so it's not a great time to kind of look at the landscape just because things are kind of going down. It's the first year, but the nice part about getting things in the fall is that everything will bloom and have a new fresh flush of growth in the spring. Some of the other things I wanted to discuss is, if you kind of look, we try to do different size, color, texture, and they personally chose mulch. We find that a lot of people are converting to stone. However, many people like the look of mulch. It's just a little more maintenance. But obviously on a lighter house, the dark mulch looks wonderful. If you notice, you can't see around the corner, but next to the house, we actually did this on their last home, was have the river run stones, so salt and people stepping off wouldn't damage it or anything like that. So did some ornamental grasses that were going to be tough, and have the stone that was going to take any of the salt and things like that really well. Cody, maybe if you would talk about some of the privacy features, something you're not going to be able to see, but all the way in the back, we kind of together selected a type of arborvitae that not that you have any dislike for your neighbors, but just gives you a little bit more privacy.
Sure. So, you know, instead of putting a fence up, Rachel and I and Brian met, and we decided to go with something that didn't resemble a fence at all, but still gave privacy. So if you look over here on the side, like Brian said, we did put some arborvitae over here that will eventually grow just for a little bit of privacy. And then as well as in the back, they did a row of them. So in 3 to 4 years, you'll have a nice hedge. It'll look really, really clean and full. He did a really nice mulch bed with that. Additionally, the nice thing about it is pretty much zero maintenance right now. He set up the drip irrigation for us, so we have that on a timer, so we don't have to worry about them getting watered. Not that it's really hot out right now, but in the summer, we have that set.
Thank you. Yep. So we try to make it as carefree for our clients, that they don't have to do much. Obviously, between a new house, young kids, you know, we just wanted to make it easy for them. with the mulch, even though I mentioned that there was some maintenance, we put a product called Snapshot down that gives you about 2 to 3 months. I'm not going to say weed free, but it's definitely going to lower the weeds down quite a bit. So again, as Rachel mentioned, one of the things you can see, the layering of the plants, we've got some evergreen in the background, so that way as things die down in the fall and the winter, you still are going to have that background of evergreen. You've got some of the evergreen that are going to give you some height on the corners. To kind of picture frame both sides of the house, you've got the 2 trees on each side, as well as some splash of color, the catnip in front, and then we also wanted to have a splash with the burning bush to give you some fall color. So every season you should have something a little different. And finally, and hopefully we're going to be done here before that it actually happens, but they were great to work with on the last property, and they fell in love with the lighting. So we were able to do some uplights, not only on the house, the trees, but then some path lights coming down the sidewalk, and it just carries your investment of your landscape, you know, into nighttime as you pull up with some added safety. So that gives you a little bit of a glimpse into the process of landscape design build. So if there's anything we can help you with, call Bilger's Lawn & Landscape at 419-448-GROW. Thank you and have a great day.